Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's things? How's life? I'm going to continue the conversation that I was having yesterday about things not needing to have a purpose in order to have a purpose. If you haven't watched that video, click somewhere. I don't I don't do the on-screen stuff anymore. Like, nobody ever clicks those things, and it's a complete waste of my time. I should probably, someday take this seriously, but I consider 653 episodes serious enough. So, part of the conversation was just discussing how maybe a thing doesn't need to have a purpose, and that could be the purpose, right? Like, so, tell a story that there is no story. That could be the point of it, right? And that's an intriguing idea to me. And part of the when this was all brought up to me, I realized I've been watching The Sopranos for the last couple of months. Just finished season 5 this last week, and so there's just the one split season left. And I realized, though, I've really enjoyed that show. Like, I don't watch shows. You guys know that. We've talked about it a lot. I don't watch TV. I always considered it to be a complete waste of my time because I wasn't being productive, and I was really hard on myself about being hyper-productive. And, so I just didn't take time to sit down and do it. But I'm really glad that I sat down to take the time to watch this show. It's really well written. It's really well filmed. It's beautiful to watch. But the funny thing is, 5 seasons now, there's no story to that show. There's nothing. Like, there's no, for a show that is a serial like that, it's not an episodic show. I mean, I guess you could sit down and watch an individual episode and not be completely lost, but really it's a series that you need to sit down and watch. There's no story. Like, there's no season arcs. There's a season starts off. There's no setup. There's no premise. There's no this is what we're going to try to accomplish. It's just stuff happens every week or every episode, and then at the end of the episode, it kind of resolves some of it, and some of it doesn't, and there's a whole lot of storylines and threads, but there's really no purpose. It's literally like reality TV, fictional reality TV is the way that I would describe it. Because it doesn't need to have like a big storyline. It doesn't need to have anything other than some really interesting characters put in some really interesting situations, and to kind of showcase what we all assume the mafia or mob or whatever looks like. And that is the point of it. I guess at some point the FBI got introduced. I don't remember what season that was, but it really doesn't have that much of an impact on the show through this season. It might at the end. I would assume it does. I would hope that they would wrap that up somehow, or use that to wrap it up. I don't know. I'll report back once I've seen season 6. But for the most part, the seasons are all just these independent hour-long episodes of just kind of a day in the life of these people. And it doesn't really mean anything or have anything important to say. It doesn't really matter that it doesn't have anything to say. And that's really cool. And so when I think about what I want to do, when I think about my idea of telling this person's story that doesn't really have a story to it, maybe there is some truth to the idea that could be the thing, that there is no thing. I don't know. I mean, in the past I've listened to Welcome to Night Vale, which is a podcast that doesn't have a purpose, and it's actually really interesting. It's entertaining to some degree. I'm definitely not. Most of my friends are like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," and I'm just kind of like, its novelty wears off really quick, in my opinion. But it's the same sort of thing. It's just random bits of information kind of put together in some sort of way that I guess kind of sort of tells the story. But you'd have to pay attention to it for so long to understand that there's any sort of connection between all the bits that I don't know that there is an actual story. And so maybe that could be the point. I don't know. I would love to know, though, if you have other movies or show recommendations like that don't necessarily tell a bigger story but kind of do in their own way. Hopefully something interesting. I'm looking for something else to watch soon. We have a couple of shows picked out, I think, that I would like to see soon-ish, or put on the list. But I'm always interested in recommendations, especially books. Yeah. Maybe even audiobooks. I've discovered recently that I can listen to audiobooks without getting bored or distracted. So maybe I have that skill now. I can listen to something. Let me know if you have anything. Put it in the comments. Go watch today's video if this video was really confusing for you. It'll make a little bit more sense, but probably not, because I tend to not make a lot of sense, even though when I say that, you all disagree with me. So thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being really, really, really good friends. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from GuinnessWorldRecords.com. Where is the world's oldest operating amusement park located? Bakken, located in Klampenborg, north of Copenhagen, Denmark, opened in 1583 and is currently the oldest operating amusement park in the world. The park claims to have over 150 attractions, including a wooden roller coaster built in 1932.